Okay, welcome guys to today's next level session. We do these a couple times a week, 2 p.m. Mondays through Thursdays. The link to join these live, if you want to share them with other people on your team, it's on the calendar at the top right of the KV4 dashboard, but you can come on and see all of our events. I believe we're doing a daily marketplace tour now too, if you're curious about our lead generation options, done for you options. I think that the team has been doing those at 1 p.m. a handful of times a week. I think there's one tomorrow. And of course, as always, we have our quick starts, which are at 1 p.m. East right before this. So yesterday we did this pet friendly rentals campaign, and I just got around this morning to setting up the ad. So this will mirror what we talked about yesterday, where I did a social post and made this quick little video with the dog. The idea being that, hey, people who need a pet-friendly rental, it's kind of a starving crowd. It could lead into conversations about real estate that also lead to listings and sales eventually. But this might be a good market to start to pick up some fee rental income if you're having trouble getting inventory, or buyers who are qualified and can go right away while we're in this really tough market. So here's the ad that I ran. It looks a lot like the social post we did yesterday. So what I was thinking we might do today, just to kind of continue this train of thought, was to build out a quick little smart campaign to reply to these leads once they start coming in. A quick conversation starting smart campaign. And this might be kind of review for some of you guys, but we do get the question about how to build a smart campaign. And the more frequent question we get is, are there any templates for such and such type of campaign? Which is a question that is cool, but I really think you don't need templates if you kind of understand the point of these things, and that the templates might actually do you a disservice. If you're using stock stuff that you find in our library or other people's libraries, that's fine as a kind of a placeholder. When you're first getting started, you kick on one of our default KV Core library campaigns. But I'm really a fan of this concept of the conversation starting campaign, where your campaign is shorter initially to try to generate a conversation. And then maybe you move people onto a longer term campaign, or just send something interesting once a week manually and let that function as your campaign. Raphael, you know what? I didn't get that replay posted. Sometimes I miss a day. For now, it's just on the YouTube channel, but I'll get that up, by the way, from right after this one from yesterday. I'll get that up right away. But it is at insiderealestate.com/webinars, I believe, because we streamed it live. So there we go, right there. Okay, so example of a conversation starter here. You can see it's kind of short. This is the waterfront one where we send a text, an email. There's a couple other things that go out, but really all you need is the initial text, and the initial email is probably the bulk of what you're going to get response from, and then you can move people into your longer term follow up. I do have a couple of other touches in here, like an email that asks them if they happen to own a house in this waterfront campaign. So what I thought we'd do today, a little bit of review, but we haven't done it in a while, is we'll just build out the campaign for this new niche, and you guys can watch the creation of a campaign if that's cool. And then we'll get into our Q&A. It should only take me about 10 minutes to build this out. So we're going to start here under marketing, smart campaigns. We're going to click add campaign. And I'm going to say, hey, I want to start this campaign whenever the hashtag #PetFriendly appears in the database. And the way that I have that set is when the lead form is submitted off of this ad. See, this form is going to be pre-filled with first name, last name, email, and phone. When this is pushed into KV Core, it's going to come with that hashtag #PetFriendly. I'm going to go ahead and I'll let it always run whenever that happens. And then design this just for a buyer. It's fine. And then we'll just call the campaign Pinellas Pet Friendly. Starter. Don't really need that last bit. And then I'll click next, hit finish. And then let's go ahead and search for where that went. I'm just going to type the word Pinellas. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and toggle it on right now. Sometimes I forget to do that. So it is toggled on, campaign active, but there's nothing in there yet. So the next step, do this in another browser here. I'm going to leave my campaign open, but now I'm going to go and build out my email template and my initial text template for this campaign. So what I need to do in order to get stuff available to put my campaign, I go to templates right up here in the smart campaign section, and I'll build a template. Now, full disclosure, I know that the team is pretty far along. Can't promise, but it seems to me in the next few weeks, probably, let's call it a few months, 1 or 2 months, seems like we're going to have a much better interface for building these campaigns. It's a lot more user friendly. So everybody will be super psyched about that. It won't be so many steps. So just a preview of what's coming. But for now, we're going to go with the flow. And I'll start by building out a text template. And I'm going to call this template pet friendly initial text. And I'll say, hi, lead first name. I use my open parentheses bracket to bring up those merge tags there. Hi, lead first name. That's the merge tag. I'll put the name in. Thanks for requesting the pet friendly rental list. Did you end up getting it okay? How about this? I've emailed you. I've emailed you the link. Let's see. We'll do it like this. Did you end up seeing any that you were interested in? I've also emailed the link so you can revisit. Emailed and auto updating link so you can always see the latest rentals at any time. So what I'm trying to do here, and I'm jumbling up my usual flow, but I'm acknowledging what they did. And then I'm saying, did you end up seeing any that you were interested in? This word end, for those of you who are on a lot of these sessions, I've mentioned this a lot, but if you use the word end or stop, or there's a few others in the text of your first text that goes out, it won't put the call to action that invites people to unsubscribe, and that'll get you less unsubscribed. So I've been using this kind of phrasing, did you end up doing XYZ? So did you end up seeing anything you're interested in? And then I'm just letting them know, hey, I've also emailed you an auto updating link so you can always see the latest at any time. So I'm going to send an email as well. This part might be something that I just delete later if I feel like it's getting in the way of them responding to this, but we're going to try it out. So I'll hit add template. Remember, also, you can always add a core video. If you subscribe to core video, I can accompany this with a video if I want, but I'm just going to call this pet friendly initial text right there and add that template to the library. And then I will go ahead and add another template. This time it's going to be my email. Pet friendly initial email. We'll call this, the subject will be your St. Pete pet friendly rental list. So what a lot of people do when they opt in for anything online, and we've all done this ourselves, is they'll kind of do the thing, but then the phone will ring, or kids will need something, some life will happen, and they'll forget to continue. So what I'm doing right now is kind of assuming that they didn't get to the list after they clicked on the Facebook ad, or they didn't spend a lot of time with it. So this is kind of reinforcing that and continuing to make sure they see it. So hi, lead first name. I'm using a little sun thing right here. Might be small on your screens. It's a little sun thing right here. I merged into first name, my first name. Thanks for requesting pet friendly rental list. You can click here to access the up-to-date list anytime. List anytime. It always auto updates, so be sure to bookmark this email for later use. So I'm trying to make them understand that this link is something they can come back to. And just in case you guys don't know, any link that to a list of properties on your KV Core site, it is automatically up to date at any times. So, so you can click here to access the list. Where did I put the list? Uh-oh, I thought I bookmarked it, but I guess I didn't. So I'm going to very quickly, guys, just bear with me. I'm going to grab it out of my lead form here. Here we go. I'll just grab the list out of here. All right. And I say you can click here to access the list anytime. So I highlight that, and then I'll paste in the URL. Thanks Okay, and I'll just sign it, Ryan. P.S. Just curious, do you already live in Pinellas County, or are you thinking about a move here? So something like that, right? Just to try to prod more of a conversation out. Most people won't reply, but occasionally you'll get an email and they're like, oh, you know, and they'll tell you their life story, right? So that's my email for my pet-friendly initial email ad template. So now I'm going to go back to the campaigns. I kept that open in this window here. And I'm going to now start to add my actions. Right here, it says add action. So let's add the text. And then if I just search pet friendly in the templates box, I might have to refresh because I did that in another browser. Maybe it's not finding the, try that again. Yeah, that's what it was. I had to refresh the page because I built the templates after I visited this page in my browser. Initial text is what I'm going to call it. I can view the template just to make sure it's the right one. And then I'll let this go out in 3 minutes. Click add. And then I'm going to add another action. That's my email. Initial email. My template will be the same thing, that friendly initial email. View the template just to make sure it's the one I just created. It is. And then that'll run immediately. So hopefully by the time they get the text, they'll have gotten the email. So this to me is actually not too bad in terms of being enough to start. So when you create a new lead generation flow, but just thinking practically about kind of how this usually goes when we're testing out new ideas. You know, we ran this ad. I've never tried this angle before, right? It's kind of a new, fresh idea. I don't know for sure if it's going to work. Pretty sure it will, just based on experience. But I'm not going to spend a ton of time building a really long campaign here. What I really want to know right now is that whenever somebody opts into this ad, at least they're going to get an email and a text from me today. And I want to start to gauge how much of a reply I get off of this. So I don't really need to do much more in the campaign, but I can. So one thing I might do just to stay organized is you might go into your calendar software or whatever you use for tasking, and I might create myself a follow-up like event, you know, like like in a day or two. This is just basic time management stuff, but you know, add another touch to Smart Campaign or pet friendly. This is just a crude example using my calendar. Maybe I'd set that to repeat every weekday. Right, and that'll repeat every weekday at 3 p.m. Hit save. So you'll see it kind of shows up here on the calendar. And then, you know, I don't need to worry about having this really long campaign. I think a lot of people want to have really long campaigns before they take any action at all. And I wouldn't let the actual campaign get your way of that. So I'm going to pause on the combo starter thing now, and then I'm going to create something else that will help me make sure that even if I forget to do that, add more to this campaign, make sure they get something from me. And that something else is I'm going to create an automated search alert. So I'll come in here under marketing and then search alerts. And I'll do pet friendly Pinellas is the trigger hashtag again, the one we use in our Smart Campaign. Search my location. And then for options, let's pick allows pets. And then listing type is rentals. So this will do that. And then I'll set the frequency. It'll go out daily and add alert. Now, anybody who opts in for this ad will automatically get pet friendly Pinellas hashtag, and they'll get an automated update every day with my name on it, right? Coming from me from KV Corp, that gives them any latest listings. So alongside our Smart Campaign, which right now only has 2 touches, we've got a pretty good follow-up system in place. And we could never add anything else to this and probably be fine. So just, this is my like theory around the conversation starter, where campaigns really just need to try to get you that response on the first day or so. Now, of course, you can add more touches, no big deal. The other thing that you can do is transfer them into a longer campaign that you have. So I'm going to just show this hack to everybody. in case you don't know it. But I could say, hey, on day 3, I want you to change the status to, oops, oh, I totally messed that up, guys. Chose the wrong option. I'm trying to add a tag, excuse me. So add action, add tag. And then on day 3, this will all make sense in a minute. I'll add the hashtag nurture. That's the one I used. This will make sense in just a minute. And it's going to say transfer to longer term campaign. And that's what I'm doing is add tag and transfer. So this is a little more advanced, but what I'm doing is I'm telling the system to add this nurture campaign, this nurture hashtag. And then I have another campaign in here. It's called long-term buyer nurture 1-year campaign. Okay, here it is, general longer term nurture. Well, I'm confusing myself, guys. I have so many. I've used this account a lot for examples. So just here. So buyer nurture 1-year campaign, and you see here no start triggers are defined for this yet. So I'm going to define a start trigger, and that start trigger is going to be when the hashtag is turned to nurture. There we go. I must have at some point undid this. There we go. I hit finish. So what this campaign is more of a general content stream, links to videos, tips, tricks, things like that I built. And it's available in the KV Core library if you want to copy it into your account. Just look for buyer or long term and it'll come up. But the key takeaway here is that my pet friendly campaign will just move people over into that a couple days later. Now, what I might get, and I don't want to overthink this, what I might get is some people who get transferred to that buyer campaign are like, dude, I'm not buying a house, I want a rentals. But if they do that and they reply to me and tell me that, well, at least they're talking to me. Right? So, I don't want to, this is about efficiency and being able to try, a good number of things efficiently. If I find out that a lot of people are saying, stop sending me stuff related to buying a home, well, then I'll optimize this. I'll build a longer term campaign for this. But the short term coverage is that I'm transferring into my generic longer term campaign. And I've also got my my automated alerts going out. So there's a pretty good chance they're going to be seeing stuff from me, right? On top of that, as we talked about a few weeks ago, I've got persistently running retargeting out there, right? So general retargeting where they get to see my face in a video here and there, banner ads and things like that. And then also, if I really wanted to work the pet friendly niche, I could easily just mail once a week and say, hey, here's the pet friendly rental of the week. If I really wanted to work this niche to its fullest. But what we've done the last 2 days is what we do frequently on these sessions from week to week is we've built out a full real estate growth system, that probably, I bet you this is going to be a really cheap lead, but if it's not, even for between $2 to $5 a lead, and then let's call it $20 to get, if we get 1 in 10 even, or 1 in 5 to reply to our initial text, for $10 to $20, I'm talking to somebody about real estate in my market, and this can just run on autopilot. So I'll mention that building a growth system webinar. Wow, seems like we just did it, but it is a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so back now. I'll drop that to everybody watching. And we have the whole section about building these funnels in the next level members area. Here, that's the property boost one. Oh, that was on February 17th. Here we go. So I'll answer questions now, guys. So okay, so Dennis's question is, where do you get notified when someone responds? As far as I know, you do, don't you? Doesn't the app tell you if you put notifications on the mobile app? I usually see them. Maybe it's because I'm manually looking, and they always pop up to the top of the KV Core dashboard. Maybe I have that wrong, but doesn't it tell you when you get an inbound text? And I think you get an email too. Pretty sure. The recording for this, Cindy, is on the YouTube channel. Here it is right now because it's streaming live. And it'll be at insiderealestate.com/webinars right now. I'll just change the playlist now. And now it'll be on that playlist. And then I'll make sure I get all these in the next level members area, guys. I always kind of forget that last step because I usually have something right after this. Yeah, you know how it goes. So good question from Ivy. Can you have more than one county in a squeeze or alert? Do I need to separate the campaign for each county? Cool. So good question. The way I would handle that for your automated alerts would be to use the map-based. So I'm not sure if you can add multiple counties. Let's try it. You might not be able to. Let's try another one here, just another area. Oh, no, you can. You can do it like that. Or if you want to get a little more granular with it, you just hit the draw on map and you can kind of do boink, 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 right? And just go back to the where you started, hit apply, and then you do it either way. Sabrina, I will definitely look out for your email. I didn't notice it. Oh, you sent it to rhartman@insiderealestate.com. Didn't notice. But more and more with Slack and Facebook messaging and everything, emails become like kind of the last inbox that I that I checked. It's kind of weird. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Sabrina, I did get that. I did, and I did forward that. I thought you were a salesperson for that particular company because I looked at it really quick. I thought you, because I get a lot of those emails, and I sent it to Hank. Hank at our company who heads up marketplace, the partnership sides of things, and he said thank you. He replied to me, and hopefully he'll reach out. I don't know if we've had any chats with Happy Grasshopper at all, and he would be the guy who knows if we're talking to them yet. Oh, good question from Demetria. Where do we go to preview the Smart Campaign contents? So you're going to go to the Smart Campaign in question. I'll just pick any one here. You go into your campaign. And then if you go and actually you can just directly hit the preview right here in the stream. So it'll show you what's in that particular touch. Like this. You can also click the edit and then it says view this template and you kind of see what's going out this way. The formatting inside of this template, don't obsess over that. A lot of times it'll look jumbled or a little different. That's kind of the previewing functionality. If you're worried at all, just go back to the original template, make sure it's laid out the way it should be, but don't, if the lines seem like they're too close and things like that, I wouldn't use that as the source of truth on that. It just does a good job of letting you know what's in the content. Cool. I don't see any other questions. What's everybody think? As always, I'm mostly concerned with helping you guys see this path with the Facebook ad or any other traffic source and the way that you can automatically follow up and generate conversations, because conversations are what lead to closings, right? And KV Core is very good if you use the automation at doing that. So the actual creative angles that you use, well, there's so many options. So we were just playing around this week with the pet friendly rentals. It's a little bit outside of the box, and sure, we're probably going to generate a lot of leads that maybe we don't have the energy to work, but if you want to talk to people about real estate, it's a nice touch point. But the actual flow is the thing that's important here. Traffic source, lead generation hook, drive it to a lead capture point from specific traffic sources, and then do the automated follow-up stuff we're always showing. So Dennis is saying, think about buyers for townhouses that allow pets. Yeah, that's a really interesting, shopping for a home. So you could have easily changed this ad and just said pet-friendly townhomes in XYZ city. If you've got an awesome dog or cat and you think you might want to keep them when you move, have a little fun with it, think you might want to take them along with you, here's a list of townhouses that'll let you have pets. And you can niche that down even further. I imagine we have a lot of 55 plus, in my market, and I imagine some of those 55 plus places may not allow pets, and some probably do. So could also do that. It's actually, I'm just curious. So the way to do this stuff is just go to your search and start to play around and see what pops up. 55 plus. Oh, here we go. Adult 55 plus is an option, and pet friendly. So I wonder what happens here if I do that. It's going to show nothing, or is it going to show nothing? Yeah. probably because sometimes it doesn't like the both right here. Now, one thing I did mean to mention yesterday is that if you do end up with a search where the front end isn't really giving it to you, or the way that the IDX data is mapping over isn't working well, there's nothing stopping you from doing this. So some of you guys might recognize this website, depending on where you are in the world. It's just my MLS, right? So I could just run the search in my MLS. If you want to get really granular, I don't spend enough time in here. But I could run the pet friendly search, right? It's down here somewhere. I just want to, there is a point to me making you guys watch me do this. Did I do regular? You just saw it the other day. Residential detail. I'm just looking for the pet friendly field. But the point is that I can generate a PDF download from my MLS and then give that download as the list when people access it. It's not terribly hard to do, right? So I just need to find, where's my pet stuff? No, not St. Pete. Anyway, here, I'm just going to pick any random field here. So you guys don't have to watch me do that. Let's pick results. And then you can print it out, right? Or download it as a PDF. So, and I haven't done this in a while. I don't spend any time in here because I'm not very active recently. But results, and then you just print out the list and create a link from it, right? So you could download it to your computer and then upload it to Google Drive or to Dropbox or something. And then when somebody opts in on your ad, you would just take them to that link, or you would email them that link. So, in most cases, kvCORE is going to give you what you need. But if you're getting very niche down, and you can give that list. It's also an interesting opportunity. I don't know what, obey by the policies of your local MLS board, but think about like offering a list of just sold properties once a week. Maybe it's not an IDX feed, but maybe you have people opt in to be notified about every sale that happens in their market. And then once a week, you just go in and you mail that list of, PDF doc to all the recent sales. So. Good question from Elizabeth. Did yesterday's training show how to put the hashtag automatically when they respond to the ad? No. The reason I did this part separately, it is in the next level trainings, but I can give you a webinar where I did do that very recently. It's this building your kvCORE based building an open house list growth system from 222. And I think in that webinar, I did the Zapier tie-in. You have to use Zapier or API Nation, which is built into the marketplace, to set the hashtag as it comes in. So it's a third-party tool either way. I don't see any other questions, so I can try to hop in here and just show you where that happens in Zapier. I need to organize this with too much going on. So here's what a Zap looks like. That's sending new leads from Facebook into kvCORE. And you can see down in this section at the very bottom, this is where I'm setting the open house list tag. As far as I knew, they had fixed the API Nation, Dennis, finally. I haven't tried it, but I think it's up to snuff now. I think it's working. There was an issue for a little while. Yeah, for a long while, actually, but connect kvCORE. authorize. Just try it out. So this is a little wizard. This would save you the expense of using Zapier. Now, I don't remember if you can do multiple. You might only be able to do one. Not sure. And then what it's going to do here, it's going to start to look for the lead forms. That particular page has a lot of lead forms on it. So I'll use this one just as an example. So you pick your lead form from Facebook, you pick your page. Click Start Mapping. Seems like it's working, Dennis. So, and then down here, you basically drag fields and connect them, but they kind of know. So you can see they mapped a bunch for me automatically. And then I just need to make sure that the hashtag makes it in. And I believe, I know you can put it into notes. Okay, I think you add custom field, hashtag, Pinellas pet friendly, right? Whatever your hashtag is. Ooh, and they don't seem to have the hashtag on the right side, but if I remember right, you would tie that to the note field. Oh boy, I'm gonna need to look at the docs for this, but where'd you go? There it is. Okay, okay. Hashtag Pinellas pet friendly system source API. I don't think that's what I wanted to do. I think that was a mistake. Undo that. Sorry, guys. All right, let's try that again. Pinellas pet hashtag pet friendly. Make my box bigger so I don't accidentally do that again. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to drag it to the one you want to connect it to. I'm having some trouble with it though, clearly. I thought that's how we were supposed to do it. All right. So I'm a little stumped, guys, but in theory, you're supposed to be able to map the hashtag over. I'm sure it's in the API Nation docs, and that they'll help you do it. Drag and drop fields. Make this smaller, maybe so I can see it all on one screen. Okay. It finally worked. I think that was mostly a UI issue in me, but I'm pretty sure it'll put that into a note with the hashtag field like so. But if I find out otherwise, I'll let you guys know. Whew. But this is a way to do this without paying for Zapier. So just hit on to turn the sync on, and now anytime any lead comes from that, we are good to go. They have this little wizard. I'm looking to see if I go through the wizard to create a hashtag. Click this button. Okay, I think I got it right. Sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, support at apination.com will help you, but that's a long answer to that question. Okay, it took like 5 minutes. Any other questions, guys? Anything else about KV Core that you'd like to see us talk about today? Let's see. Oh, smart numbers usage. We did some of that last week, but what specifically about them? Just how to use them? So if we go to Lead Engine and we go to call and text capture, we've got our number. And if we want, we can get our own personal one. But everybody gets one attached to the company. And then you're able to attach codes to this number that people can text the code and then get information back. So if I click add new, my custom code is pet friendly. And then I can click on the message versus MLS ID. Hi, thanks for requesting the pet friendly rental list. Click here to see it now, and then put my link. So you can let people do that, and then I could assign a hashtag on anybody who texts in, and then assign it to one of my smart numbers. Cindy, I'm not at EXP. So my office's smart number is this number. Yeah, maybe. One thing you could do is talk to the state broker or whoever, talk to EXP's tech support and see if maybe they consider adding another smart number for the people who are in the 727 area. But to me, that seems like something that Inside Real Estate might, or 850, yeah, wherever Stellar, wherever the MLS or the state. But I wonder if that conversation has come up a lot. EXP might be willing to either bear the expense with us, or maybe we work something out with EXP, but it would only be a handful of exchanges that need to get added if we just added a couple of more smart numbers to your Florida account. And don't hold me to that, but that might be a path I do before you go and get your own number. See if they're willing to do that for you. Way back in the day, I did have that 941 number when I was with your company way back. And I remember it was an issue then, but I don't think there were enough users to justify it. And now there are plenty. So yeah, so you might want to get your own, or just don't worry about it. The 72 is the 727 super important. That's, if it is, then go ahead and get one. But so that's how to add a text code. Just know that any text code that you create is yours. So anytime somebody texts that, you get the lead. If somebody randomly calls the smart number because you have it on a sign writer, there is a chance that it'll route to other people in your office, only because the system won't know who the lead belongs to, and it'll just route the calls around robin. So that's another reason to get your own smart numbers. If you're worried somebody's going to call the number, you want to make sure the lead comes to you. Now, if their phone number is in the system and they're calling from that number and that lead is attached to you, then the call will come to you. But there is some confusion around that whole set of stuff. Yeah, I would. There's not much I could do. I'm not really the account manager on that account, Sabrina and Cindy, but give it a try. I can't promise anything, but it seems to me like it would be, yeah, I get you. Or what would be even cooler is if we just came up with an 888 number or something, or an 800 number that covered the whole state. So anybody if it's the base office number doesn't match where you are, maybe we go to our number provider on this side and we just do an 888. That I will suggest to our team. I bet you that's a possibility. But no promises for me. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm just the training guy right now. Now, if you do want to use your own number just to hack for text responses, sometimes we make things more hard and expensive. But I mean, I could always you can always take any code and tell people to text it to your number. Text home value report to number. So it could be your own cell number. And when somebody texts, you get their cell number. Now, in that case, you would need to manually put them in the KV core. But if it's a big issue, or if you have an idea that you want to try out, and you're worried about the smart number not being local, try it out on your own cell number for a few leads. And if it's working really well, then go buy the smart number. It will always go into KV core if it's your text code. That's just the way it's coded. So see the ones I have here. Anytime one of these is texted, I get the lead. Basically, no other agent in your office is going to be able to create the same text code for that smart number. Yeah, the issue comes in with the calling. Yep. So cool, guys. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna have Raphael on, right? I don't know if he's still here today, but we're gonna have a guest, Raphael, who's been in the audience a lot lately. We're gonna talk about just what he's doing, his Home Partners of America funnel, just whatever else is on his mind. And I'm hoping to do more interactive sessions like that. So if anybody would like to come on, we try to sneak one of those in every week. If anybody else would like to come on and be a guinea pig or just talk about what you're up to, please do let me know. Otherwise, we're just about done. Dennis, a heavy overview of the thanks cards. I'll just drop you this link. There's not, I may need to update what's in KV Core, but there's a general demo of thanks.io if you want to watch that. And I'm constantly doing webinars and things on that side of things, for that business. But maybe check out that link if you want. Okay, guys. I think we'll call it a day today. If that's okay with everybody. And then we'll be back tomorrow at the same time with Raphael, see what he's up to. And in the meantime, definitely check out the Next Level members area. If you're a member, I'll get these replays added into there the last 2 days, as well as our YouTube and our Facebook group. InsideRealEstate.com/Facebook group is a great place to go. In the meantime,